Okay, nerds and nerdettes, it's time for something new, and this time we have a Q&A session. Lately I asked you for some questions and you provided, so I'm going to answer those, or some of them at least, the good ones. One of them is, what's your favorite piece of equipment or plugin that you consistently use in your music production and why? And people that know my project absolutely know what that is. That is, of course, this thing, the Virus TI, or the Virus family of synthesizers. Why do I love them so much? So many reasons why I love them. For example, the build quality, the sound. Well, we should start with the sound. It's a synthesizer after all. Absolutely the sound. The sound is incredible and the versatility is also incredible. It is a virtual analog synthesizer. This means it's not an analog synthesizer, but it's so intricately and beautifully designed that it is totally capable of creating analog feeling sound. Almost more analog than some analog gear, in a way. So this is the great thing with the Virus. And then the other thing is that it is one of the most advanced synthesizers in a way in its design beauty, because there are absolutely more complex synthesizers where you have more LFOs, more oscillators, more options. But the beauty how it all comes together with the Virus TI is what makes it special and so beloved and used by the most famous music producers, musicians, live musicians in the world, without a question. They're incredibly famous on stage as in the studio, and this is because of all the things that I've said. They are incredibly built, they have an incredible sound, and this really comes into play when you are traveling, of course. I mean, you need a machine that is able to withstand a lot and that is reliable, and the Virus is both of those things. There was one occasion where I lived in Spain. I had one of my first studios there near Barcelona in Caldes de Montbui, and my girlfriend at the time came into my studio, which was a tiny room, and I mean tiny, unsuitably small for a studio. And what ultimately happened was, I had my brand new Virus standing there. This is quite a long time ago. My girlfriend comes in with a huge jumbo cup of coffee, really enthusiastically, because she has some great news or is really enthusiastic about something. I don't remember, quite frankly, what it was. Places it next to the Virus on my studio desk at the time and makes a hand gesture like this, like ta-da kind of hand gesture. And that was, of course, like, you know, completely covering my Virus with coffee. And it was running at the time. And this is the same Virus that I'm still using. I unplugged it in light speed and turned it around, dried it as good as I can from the outside. And then ultimately I opened it up and I found that it is really like intelligently built, definitely to withstand beers or stuff that is, you know, could potentially happen on stages. And it's designed like a U-boat. It's like military grade synthesizer gear in a way. So that is absolutely my favorite piece of equipment that I consistently use and still love, although I believe it is great to sometimes change things up and not use the things that you are always using in order to, you know, tread new ways and get new output. But goddammit, I love the Virus more than any other instrument, synthesizer, etc. For sure in my case, because I really, really know the Virus extremely well. It almost feels like an extension. I know it extremely well. This is the other thing. A couple of more things about the Virus is that it's capable of acting as an audio interface. It's capable of acting as an effect processor. So extremely versatile. That is my favorite piece of equipment, for sure. Among many other things that I also love, plugins. And plugins, I can name a few that I really like. So, of course, I like FabFilter Pro Q3 with all the options that it offers, but especially the dynamic EQ is something that I'm super much into. For vocals, I like Butchwick's Wave plugin. That thing is absolutely killer. You can really, really do some nice stuff to vocals, especially if they are, used in a musical way. Then what else? For kick, I like KSHMR, I think, Kashmir Kick plugin. There is one free kick plugin which is quite powerful. I can totally recommend it. Then what else do I like? There is so much. For bass processing, I like TransX Multi, a transient modulator that's like kind of a secret sauce ingredient that you can use on your bass lines to control the transients. Then, of course, I like Saturn for saturation, Quadrafuzz 2 for saturation, and many other plugins. I don't know if they are my favorite plugins. They're just like, colors in my palette. It's almost like the same thing. Do I have a favorite color? I guess something in between blue and green. You know what I mean? Do I have a favorite plugin? I have some that I consistently use, that is for sure. And among them are SSL Channel, SSL EQ, and SSL Comp. For comp, also sometimes when I want something very easy and clinical, I use C1. Sometimes I use the Steinberg comp. Then for saturation, Quadrafuzz for sure, consistently. There is no more consistent plugin than Quadrafuzz 1, although it's hard to get it to run. And I found Quadrafuzz 2 really powerful as well. It had a bad or I shouldn't say that. Some friends of mine really didn't like it, but I believe it's because they didn't really understand what is going on. It's a little bit more, offers a bit more, options in terms of stereo wideness and different saturation modes. So for people that, love the simplicity of the Quadrafuzz 1, maybe the 2 seems maybe a little bit unneededly complex or something like that. But I disagree. It's really, really cool, and you can get a lot of color with that as well. For mastering, I am absolutely loving Ozone. Ozone is really, really nice. It offers a nice palette of tools that are specially designed for mastering, and I use them a lot, especially the Exciter, the Imager. Some things are good but dangerous, like this spectral modulation thing, and for example the part where you are low-end focus, it's called low-end focus. Really powerful, can be used to enhance stuff, can also be used to F stuff up. So those are a couple of plugins that I, at the moment, consistently use, and some of them I really consistently use. But the one thing that I consistently really use is a hardware synth, the Virus TI. I hope that answered your question. So for you guys, I will put a link down to submit questions. You can just submit questions there if you have any questions about music production, mastering, mixing, anything that comes to mind. Just pop it in a message to us and we will answer it. And we have a couple of more good questions from you guys that I will answer in another video, because this is fun. If you liked the video, then definitely subscribe to the channel. We are launching our website really, really soon and announce the first courses and workshops. More about that soon, but in the meantime, subscribe to the channel, ring that bell button, click notify all, and leave a comment below with a question, or leave a full word or multi-word comment down below, either about the content or just to support us. Much love from the Paralabs, and I'm Sam, and I see you next time. Cheers and peace out.